All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. It has stopped raining a little bit. I think we're going to get a little bit more rain today. So I keep my head inside. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. Then we have Shane West, Chicago, Tony Pinkston, Philly, Cleve Stewart, New York, Omar Jarrett, Connecticut, Lorna Vasquez, Jay Guillory, Tommy Adoon from South Jersey. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Find a vehicle like KGX, make a decision, take action, and remain focused. Do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you in this space. You have limited resources. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I only have 2 articles this morning that really caught my attention that I want to cover. I think we did a lot yesterday. But we first look at the coin market cap. It is at 138.4 billion, so it has lost 2 billion over the last 24 hours. See, Bitcoin dominance is at 51.1%, so Bitcoin dominance has gone up, which means money has been leaving the altcoins. But Bitcoin price is still over $4,000 a coin, so it's down by almost 1% over the last 24 hours. The whole market is in the red. You see this down spike here? So it tried to test that resistance level above 4,000 for a couple of days, and it's bouncing back down. How low this will go, we'll see. I'm going to be watching this today, see if it goes 3,800, 3,900. Best performers, Raven Coin, Maximine Coin, they're double-digit green. Tezos, Loom Network, Verge, Ontology, Ethereum Classic. Worst performers, Golem, Theta, GX Chain, Wax, Status, Loopring, Huobi Token, Crypto.com Chain, Ooh, Stratus is having a deep dive. They all are. Look at that. So I'm going to look at this again at the end of I cover, because this seems to be happening as I speak. A downturn. I don't have my Poloniex up. I will load that. I could see some real time data just in case. But let's see some articles that we're going to cover here. First up, 2018 saw 122% increase in crypto clients, says Bitcoin Bank Silvergate. That's what I said. 2018 was the year they were building the infrastructure. I don't need to sign in just to look at the exchange. I want to take a real-time look at this. So real-time Bitcoin price is at $39.72. 24-hour change, negative 1.11%. Well, it had a massive drop, 39.20, then bounced back up. So 39.11 was the 24-hour low, 40.67. What is the bot? Is the bot still active on here? Yeah, 32 Bitcoin. Has a buy order for 39.38. A sell order for 39.86. So yeah, so it's clearly below 4,000 right now, with no clear sign of that popping back up to 4,000. So we'll see how low this goes over the next 24 hours or so. So 2018 saw 122% increase in crypto clients. Despite a prevailing bear market for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, the number of those interested in the industry grew in 2018. That's the claim by Silvergate Bank, who touts that it is the leading provider of innovative financial infrastructure solutions and services to participants in the digital currency industry. This is based on information enclosed in its preliminary prospectus. I mean by that preliminary prospectus, which the financial institution filed recently with the securities of the SEC. I can never say that properly. The SEC of the United States. Did I post this link in the chat box? I don't think I did. Good morning, Cynthia, Jay Guillory, Patricia Davis, Jacqueline, Omar Jarrett. All right. Crypto deposits increased to $1.58 billion for Silvergate. At the close of 2018, Silvergate showed that 542 crypto-related clients were giving the bank their business. This number was a 122.1% increase from the prior year. In addition to client growth, the bank also saw total crypto deposits move up from $1.46 billion to $1.58 billion, an increase of 8%. The bank touts some very notable clients, some of which are top-ranking cryptocurrency exchanges. These include Bitstamp, Genesis, and Circle, who deposited a total of $618.5 million throughout 2018. Additional clients who turned to Silvergate include some prominent players in the crypto community. For instance, the bank offers its services to Polychain Capital, Bitcoin storage company Zappo, Paxos, the firm that supports Pax, and Kinetic Capital, a digital asset trading and investment institution. Silvergate resides in San Diego, California, and is one of the few financial institutions to welcome crypto businesses with open arms. They join prolific banks who already support crypto, including Signature Bank in the US and Bank Frick, which is located in Europe. The bank has shown that it believes there is a lot of room for growth in the cryptocurrency industry, especially since Silvergate estimates that the current market for deposits as they relate to digital currencies is in the realm of $30 to $40 billion. Even though the firm is very high on cryptocurrency, Silvergate did send out a warning about cryptocurrency to those who are considering investing. The bank stated, "Our business is subject to many substantial risks and uncertainties you should consider before deciding to invest in our common stock, including risks that the digital currency industry may not gain widespread adoption, that legal and regulatory uncertainty regarding the regulation of digital currencies and digital currency activities may inhibit the growth of the digital currency industry, that our low-cost funding strategy may not be sustainable, that our deposits may be adversely affected by price volatility." Last November, Silvergate Capital, who is the parent company of Silvergate Bank, started preparing for an IPO. In its prospectus, the firm says that it plans to use monies from the IPO to continue to fund its financial operations. Even though the Bitcoin Bank says that it's open to potentially seeking acquisitions in the future, it currently has no plans to do so. So you're going to start seeing a trend of this. I think it was Tim Draper who has, Mike Novogratz, who was the first to come out with his crypto bank out of Canada. But you're going to see a lot of businesses and individuals that have huge crypto holdings feel more comfortable putting it in some form of a crypto bank than storing it themselves and trying to keep security themselves. They'll pay the fee for that. So this is a trend you're going to start to see. But the one thing to take from this is the fact that we have a 122% increase in crypto clients. So this is growing, not going the other way. Even in a bear market, this was what was happening. All right, last up. Chicago mayor suggests cryptocurrency will save countries from financial crisis. Says trend lines are affirmative. Now, he's not the first to say this. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer said the same thing in 2018, early on. So he's not the first, but he certainly will not be the last. So let me pull this one up for you guys. A fresh report from Forbes magazine. You know what? I might want to open that later just to see if Forbes is talking about crypto. A fresh report from Forbes has covered the recent speech by Chicago Mayor and former Chief of Staff before U.S. President Barack Obama, Rahm Emanuel. The subject of the speech was Chicago's fintech movement, and as such, Emanuel spent a fair share of time discussing cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Really? The trend lines for cryptocurrency adoption are affirmative. Specifically, Emanuel noted that all signs point towards that cryptocurrency will inevitably emerge as a major factor to be reckoned with. Moreover, Emanuel also went on to argue that cryptocurrency can play a crucial role in everything from third world countries with undependable fiat currencies to facilitate trade within debt markets. This becomes especially obvious, Emanuel argued, as established structures change, the nation states recede. Instead, it will become increasingly important to maintain global transactions. Nation states are falling apart or receding. City-states are emerging. So the political structures we all grew up under are changing. This is revolutionary, what he's saying here. I don't know I agree with this too much. The part that I mean is city-states are emerging. I don't know if I agree with that too much. One day, somebody is going to figure out whether that's Argentina, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, how to use cryptocurrencies to stay alive when they're facing a financial crisis. And then you're going to find out this moment has arrived. I think he's ahead of his time here. This is maybe 5 years ahead, a statement like this. In addition to this, however, Emanuel also stated that he is not too well versed on the subject of cryptocurrencies. Nevertheless, that has not stopped him from realizing his future potential. The trend lines are affirmative for its future. I don't know if that's 10 years, and I don't know if that's 20 years, but it's affirmative. I don't know what it is. I know it's an alternative way to trade, and therefore I got to learn about it. And I got to be honest, as mayor, it's not the top 100 things I would have to learn about. Well, at least that's an honest assessment. He knows enough to know that this is not going anywhere, that this is the future. There's no running from it. There's no hiding from it. The question is, when? That's the one thing I cannot accurately predict. Now, I'm 80% right most of the time, but that 20% times that I'm wrong deals mostly with the timing. I don't know if this is going to be 5 years or 10 years. The only thing I can look at is past. If we look at the development of the internet, the internet is 30 years old. 30 years old. So everything we know about the internet up to today took 30 years. But the internet wasn't always the way it is today. There wasn't always a Facebook. There wasn't a Google. There wasn't a Twitter. It was basically email, and people were trying to figure out URL, what the www means, AOL dial-up. There was no eBay or Amazon like it is now. So it took 30 years. The blockchain and crypto, I would bet, if I were a betting man, it should take at least half that time. So if that's the case, we're already 10 years in. So how long did it take the internet to get mass adoption? So if the internet really started to come on in 1988, 89, emails we started hearing about in 92, 93, maybe 91, 92. Yeah, Yahoo back in those days. It took 10 years for Amazon to come on board. So if we're looking at least half that time, then that means we have another 5 years. But I think it's going to be longer than that. I'll give it 10, 20, 28 to 29. That's what I'll give it. So let's say this is not 10 years. I'll give it 20 years for the crypto. That's just my own personal. That doesn't mean I'm correct. Heck, it could be 3 years from now. Well, what would facilitate this is a crisis, a mass crisis. Like here, they're saying other countries facing a financial crisis. What if America faces a financial crisis within the next 5 years? He also says he's got to learn about it, and it's not in his top 100 things. I would advise him, you better put this in your top 100 things. Cisco, IBM, those of you that didn't see yesterday, my crypto talk. Let me tell you, you've heard me talk about IBM all the time, but here's Cisco, what Cisco says. Similar to Joseph Lubin's prediction that blockchain will capture half of the world's wealth within the next 20 years, the Cisco report predicts that by 2027, 2027, that puts blockchain or crypto at being 18 years old. The global GDP will be stored, 10% of the world's global GDP will be stored on the blockchain. The true innovation of blockchain is its ability to automate trust among the parties using it. This embedded trust allows consumers, enterprises, and governments to automate how they manage any transactional relationship. Although the ability to create a trusted environment for transactions to occur may not be something that the average consumer thinks about, it's very important for businesses. In fact, 83% of executives believe trust is the cornerstone of the digital economy. Blockchain can enable manufacturers to improve track and trace of components and finished goods across the supply chain and enable new applications around anti-counterfeiting, supplier and purchasing financing. The transformation toward an era of a programmable economy is expected to deliver efficiencies and new business value in excess of $3 trillion by 2030, 11 years from now, by 2030. Cisco. So whether you understand this, believe it or not, all of the companies that's employing everybody believes it. So I think another reason why you have Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago, speaking up on this is because where is the CME and the CBOE located? The Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Chicago Board of what? What does the CBOE stand for again? Chicago Board something Exchange. They're in Chicago. So cryptocurrency sector could easily become $1 trillion market. Well, it already did at one point, so we know it can happen again. Furthermore, Emanuel also argued that cryptocurrency will make even more of an impact with the younger generation, joking that although he did not hold any cryptocurrency, I doubt that. I seriously doubt that. Again, never listen to what these clowns say. Follow what they do. I guarantee you he's got a crypto portfolio. His kids will figure out how to get their hands on it. See, I'm not going to wait for my kids to figure out. My kid's 20 years old and 11. And at this age, they really, because their dad's talking about crypto all the time, they have no interest in it. But I am forcing them to know about it. I'm forcing them to learn about it. They have crypto wallets. They don't even know it yet. But by the time they come of age and understand what this is all about, they're going to be sitting on a fortune. And I'm not talking about inheritance from me. I'm talking about from their own wallets and accounts that I will set up. The best gift you can give to your kids right now. They may not be able to jump in and understand this just yet, but that's your responsibility to make sure that they're set up. I did show my youngest son understands wallet keys. You know, so if anything were ever happen, and, you know, I'm not Quadriga's CEO guy, but he knows how to recover the wallets that has the family loot, where the bags are hidden. Anyways, my wife doesn't know. She doesn't know all this technology stuff, so I got to teach the kids. So Emanuel also noted that cryptocurrency is currently obviously the hottest space within the fintech sector. Okay, stop right there. He says crypto is not the only thing in the fintech sector. When you ever hear the fintech sector, you think of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and cryptocurrency. In other words, blockchain technology. Rahm says it's obviously the hottest space. Okay, stop right there. Why? Because what did Warren Buffett say? Bitcoin and all that stuff is rat poison squared. I don't really understand it, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't invest in that, blah, blah, blah. That's what he says, right? But Berkshire Hathaway has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in what sector? The fintech sector. So if he is directly investing in the fintech sector, and the hottest space in the fintech sector is cryptocurrency, therefore you can conclude that Warren Buffett is investing in the crypto sector without directly saying it. You guys see that? You got to learn how to read between the lines. Whenever they're out there saying one thing, they're doing something different. Carmen himself recounted the previous bear markets experienced by the cryptocurrency market and noted that all of these has ultimately ended in yet another bull run. I think the smallest bull market after a major bear market was from the low. I went up 20-fold, Carmen said. As such, he also suggested that the cryptocurrency market could easily become a trillion-dollar market, and that's just one fintech sector. Wait a minute. Carmen, again, who's Carmen? Well, the event at which Emmanuel spoke was set up by David Carmen, the co-founder of FinTech. Okay. Chicago's global fintech hub. Yeah, Rob, don't let it, he knows what's up. Chicago politicians, they know where the money is. I mean to say anything about the Windy City, but y'all know how it is. Chicago politics, the dailies. You didn't think I knew about that, huh? I'm from LA. I know what's going. I know about the dailies. All right. Yeah, that's it for this morning. Let's look again at. Well, let me glance at the Forbes article real quick. Chicago mayor says crypto adoption could be inevitable. See, this is something I'm going to send to my dad because, you know, he reads Forbes magazine. I'm not even going to send it to him. He reads Forbes magazine. I know he saw it. Yeah, they just cover the same thing. FinTech, FinTech crypto meeting crowd. Chicago as a top hub. The Chicago mayor referred to a Deloitte report which saw Chicago as a top 5 global technology hub. If you're not innovating, you're falling behind, Emmanuel said. Okay. Today, the space between an institutional player like CME and a startup company has shrunk dramatically. That's why, CME was involved in crypto. Regarding Chicago's future, Emmanuel stated that it's important that the financial community create its own innovation space that healthcare, manufacturing, or water bestow. Okay. Talking FinTech. David Carmen Chicago movement. David Carmen set up the invite-only meeting as a way to collaborate on how to develop Chicago into a top global crypto trading capital. What's up, Chicago? Y'all trying to be like our Silicon Valley here in Cali? More power to you. But more than that, Carmen said he desires to make Chicago a major capital in the entire FinTech space. As he told me in a brief interview after the March 18th meeting. You know what that means? There's going to be a bunch of blockchain FinTech conventions in Chicago. I'll be there. The opportunity is enormous, Carmen said regarding his inspiration to make this happen. Carmen recounted the previous several bear markets for crypto's overall market cap, that it can easily become a $1 trillion market. On the whole, for Chicago, David said the goal of the movement is to become the global leader in the space. We want Chicago to be recognized as the global leader of the FinTech revolution. That's going to take a lot of work, but you have artificial intelligence, big data analytics, blockchain, cryptocurrency, cybersecurity, insurtech, lending, payments, wealth tech, augmented virtual reality, reg tech, on and on it goes. And they're all at a minimum billion-dollar markets. And some, I think, are going to be trillion-dollar markets, not just crypto. But you know what? All of those are going to be using blockchain technology. All of it. We want Chicago to be recognized as a global leader. Oh, yeah, I did that part. With such a massive undertaking, Carmen said he is going to be going about the proposition piece by piece, starting with crypto trading. As Carmen said, trading has been a strong point in Chicago's history. He's right. Chicago's about to be put on the map. You know who should be paying attention to this? What city? It's freaking Detroit. Detroit is about to take a huge, the automobile industry in Detroit. It's not what it used to be. So if I was a leader in Detroit and you're looking to, keep a growing city going, you can't be sitting on a sinking ship. The next thing, look at what Chicago's doing. Put your focus on the blockchain and FinTech industry. And in fact, that goes for any city. You want to, California, because my state is run by Democrats, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's not too much business friendly. And all the businesses are fleeing to Nevada and fleeing to Arizona. If you want to attract these businesses, then put your focus on this industry. Don't just rely on Silicon Valley to come up with something. Anyways, you know, if I was in Chicago, actually, I lived in Chicago because Chicago's built kind of differently than LA is. LA's sprawling, and I'm promoting KGX. I'd be making 10K a month, if not 10K a week, just off of all the local meetups that's happening out there. I'd be going to the meetups. I'll be every other week. I'll be doing a crypto event. Come on out to learn about crypto. You don't have to go back to school to learn this stuff. I'd make a killing in Chicago. Anyways, that is it for early morning crypto talk. Let's see, has the market changed over the past 30 minutes? I will be doing a presentation tonight, KGX presentation, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, on kgxglobal.info. kgxglobal.info. Yeah, here CoinMarketCap's got it down at 4,000. That must be what Coinbase is putting it at. Poloniex has it at, let's see, 39.72. Still going down. Still going down a bit. Yeah, look at that. 39.61. Look at that. It's still going down. We'll see how low it goes. Yep. Bollinger bars. Where's my Bollinger bars? That's a 30-minute indicator. Do the 5 minutes. Yeah, it's flatline in this area. It's got it at 39.80, 39.60 region. Huh. I'll be looking at this all day. The rest of the board is pretty much red too. Monero, Litecoin, Zcash, Ripple, Ethereum, Qtum. All right, everybody, that is it for today. I'll see you all tonight. Late night crypto talk, Bitcoin Brandon, kgxglobal.info. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.